All right, guys, another day's in the books for stocks, and let me tell you, man, it was a rocky day. We had some red, we had some green. It looks like the S&P went up 0.1%, but the Dow went down 0.75%. The Russell got squashed, down almost 1.5% as QQQ, the Nasdaq 100, went up a measly 0.25%, which you guys would have thought it would have been up more today, considering yesterday we got Google's earnings. The stock popped. It brought up a lot of other stocks. But yeah, I mean, NASDAQ only went up 0.25%. So we're going to break down the indexes today. I want to zero in on Google's earnings, which we probably should have done yesterday, but better late than never, guys. We're going to break down Google's earnings and why they're sending up not only Google stock, but other stocks, NVIDIA, AMD, other tech stocks. So we have a lot to cover today, guys. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe, and let's dive into it. Oh, by the way, join the free email stock newsletter. Check out my Patreon for my portfolio updates. All the links are down below. And now, let's dive into it. So we were all over the place today. Some green, some red, mostly red, really. Big red day for the Dow and the Russell, especially the Russell, man, down over 1.5% or right around 1.5%. Not the best. But with that being said, the S&P hit all-time highs, so it didn't have a great day, but we hit all-time highs either way. We hit 636.15, which you guys see here on SPY. Then we sold off into close down to about, 634. But yeah, either way, all-time highs were hit. And on QQQ, you guys can see we hit all-time highs yesterday after the bell because, again, we saw a big move after the bell because of Google. This got to all-time highs, and we gave back, a good amount of those gains into the open, I believe, today, right? Yeah, into open. Then we chopped around a bit. Then we coasted up into close. But, yeah, man, not bad, not bad. Even though, QQQ SPY didn't have the best days, we still hit all-time highs. We still hit all-time highs. What more could you ask for, right? And Google, let's just dive into Google right now, guys. I really want to zero in on it here. This hit almost $200 a share this morning. We hit 199.20 at about, what time was that? 9 a.m. East Coast time. Then the markets opened. Clearly, we saw some profit taking. Google got down to about 191, so we dropped about 3.5-4% from where we were in the pre-market high to the low. And that's after, we got great numbers out of the company. I mean, we can see they did EPS of $2.31. That beat the $2.16 expected. And sales also beat $96.42 billion versus $93.71 billion expected. And from what I remember, they beat all across the board on all their segments. We'll dive deeper into the actual earnings release right now. And they gave us some great news that pushed up other stocks, which we'll talk about here later in the video. But man, Google crushed earnings. And this is a great reaction to the stock. I mentioned this. I forget where else I mentioned this. I make so many videos now, guys. Check out all the other socials down below. But I mentioned how we ran up so much into earnings. Earnings are out now. The cat's out of the bag. And we're running up even more. That goes to show the strength in Google stock. And really, that the price a couple weeks ago was just way undervalued. Or let's say a couple months ago at this point. So I'm glad I bought the dip. And I'm sure a lot of you did as well. Not financial advice, though. Do your own research. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. So this is the actual earnings release from Alphabet. Let's pull it up here, zoom in a little bit. And I want to show you guys what their CEO said. So Alphabet's consolidated revenues in Q2 2025, as you guys can see here at the top, increased 14% year over year to $96.4 billion, reflecting robust momentum across the business. Google Search and other, YouTube ads, Google subscriptions, platforms, and devices, and Google Cloud each delivered double-digit growth in Q2. Think about that, guys. Unreal. Google services revenues increased 12% to $82.5 billion, reflecting strong performance across Google Search and other, Google subscriptions, platforms, devices, and YouTube ads. And Google Cloud revenues increased 32% to $13.6 billion, led by growth in Google Cloud Platform across Google core products, AI infrastructure, and generative AI solutions. And look at this. Total operating income increased 14%, and operating margin was 32.4%. So, their numbers, guys, are amazing. It's unbelievable. This is a great earnings report, and check this out. CEO of Google said, "We had a standout quarter with robust growth across the company. We're leading at the frontier of AI and shipping at an incredible pace. AI is positively impacting every part of the business, driving strong momentum. Search delivered double-digit revenue growth, and our new features like AI overviews and AI mode are performing well. We continue to see strong performance in YouTube as well as subscription offerings, right? And Cloud had strong growth in revenues, backlog, and profitability. And its annual revenue run rate is now more than $50 billion, which is unbelievable, right? And with this strong and growing demand for our cloud products and services, listen to this here, guys. This is where NVIDIA comes into play. We are increasing our investment in CapEx, capital expenditures, in 2025 to approximately $85 billion, which last time they were aiming, or last update, they were aiming for $75 billion. They bumped it to $85 billion, and they're excited by the opportunity ahead. So this means, in other words, more money is going to be spent on AI infrastructure, right? More money in the pockets of NVIDIA, of other chip makers as well. Other chip makers went up. So if you guys take a look here, coming down a little bit more, we'll look at NVIDIA's chart in a second. We can see the different segments. I want to show you YouTube. So YouTube ads grew to $9.8 billion. So they're almost at $10 billion. It's insane. If you annualize YouTube ads, it's almost at $40 billion. This, as a standalone business, would be unbelievably big. You know what I mean? YouTube. So that's a big reason why I own Google stock. If Google didn't own YouTube, it's like I wouldn't be in the stock most likely. Probably not. YouTube is such a major asset. It's unbelievable, and it's bringing in $40 billion annualized based on this quarter that we just got. It's insane, and they grew about $1.1 billion year over year. So YouTube ads last year, Q2 of 2024, came in at $8.6 billion. And now they're at 9.8. So that grew very nicely. Google ads grew, obviously. Subscriptions, platforms, and devices. Cloud grew big time. You guys see right here, total revenues grew $12 billion year over year. They're about to hit $100 billion, man. In a quarter here. You guys can see it's insane. So excuse me. Yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. And that's pretty much it for Google's earnings in a nutshell. They crushed it across the board. They're guiding up in terms of CapEx. That's great for companies like NVIDIA. And speaking of NVIDIA, guys, look at this stock chart. Let me pull it up. And by the way, hit the like button. Run the likes up on this video. Make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you all for tuning in. NVIDIA's up almost 2% on the day, or actually the market's closed. It closed 15 minutes ago. It closed up almost 2% on the day. And to me, call me nuts, but it almost looks like we're about to fully break out. It looks like here NVIDIA saw a bit of a pullback from 174 down to about 165. Not bad. Buyers came in. Boom. Now we're moving back into the mid 170s. We're testing the highs from about a week ago. We have an ascending triangle. You guys see that right here. This is very similar to Palantir's chart, which I have a video coming out on them later tonight. Watch out for that. But Palantir, ascending triangle, about to break out. Same thing here on NVIDIA, it looks like. So this, if it breaks out of the mid 170s, guys, I know it sounds crazy, but it could be going up a lot more. So NVIDIA looks great. AMD's another one, which broke out of the highs from about a week ago. AMD hit 163 today, 2.2% Green Day. What other stocks went up? Applied Materials, about 0.75%. Micron, 2% Green Day. Very good day for Micron, although it's still obviously in a downtrend. So, well, actually, it's in an uptrend in the grand scheme of things, but in the short term, last month, it's given back some gains, a lot of gains. And this is actually the moment of truth, excuse me, guys, for Micron at about $110. This is, or was, a big resistance. Now it's looking like it's holding as support. So keep your eyes on Micron, MU, obviously all the other stocks, Google, NVIDIA, AMD that we mentioned in this video. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Check out the free email stock newsletter. I send out my top stocks weekly right to your email. And if you guys want to be a part of the Patreon, see how I'm building my portfolio with thousands of dollars per month, check out the link down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video.